Report yesterday, real median income, Governor Walker, of households maintained by foreign-born persons increased by 4.3% between 2013 and 2014. But check it out. In contrast, the median income, according to the Census Bureau, of households maintained by native-born people declined 2.3%. In my mind, that paints the picture of the middle-class discontent. Everybody seems to get the bennies. Everybody seems to get the recovery, except the native-born working people in that middle-income level in this country.
Well, under this president, they just keep getting clobbered over and over again. He's got this is a series of policies, part of which he did after the last year's election when he pushed for changes in immigration there, but part of it's even in rural areas, which is overwhelming. And rural areas are doing not as well as the rest of the country in terms of recovery. It's a whole series of things. It's even things as simple as Dodd-Frank, which are just clobbering community banks, which typically have helped smaller rural areas as well. It's a whole series of things. It's the growth of Washington. It's the policies of this administration. We need leaders who are going to truly step up and support America's working families. And it's why, as I've talked about immigration, that's all the more reason why, to me, when you talk about legal immigration, we should have it tied into what is the impact on American working families and their wages in a way that will truly improve the American economy. And even some of the people who say they're against amnesty and they want to secure the border and enforce the laws and all the things that I and others say, there are some on that stage who are pretty solid-sounding conservatives who want to open the door towards more legal immigration.
Ted Cruz.
We need to make
Ted
sure
Cruz
that
and
American
Marco
workers
Rubio.
and their families are. We need to make sure American workers and their families are doing well.
Governor, before we let you go, there was a lot of back and forth about speaking Spanish and so forth, and I don't need to play the soundbite, but Marco Rubio basically said, look, if it's better for me to speak in Spanish than these Spanish speakers to be hearing it through a translation on Spanish media. I got a lot of emails and comments on that from my listeners. Aren't we supposed to be a country where English is the national language, even if it's not officially the national language, where that's the one of the overriding things that unifies us? And it seems to be now it's almost an afterthought. To speak English and speaking Spanish gives you the upper hand in this election.
Well, the bizarre thing is we're a nation of immigrants, got many great traditions over the years. Many great people have come from all over the world. But what was the one thing is they assimilated. They kept their traditions for sure. Many have. I've got German and Irish and Scottish and Welsh ancestors. But even on the German side, I still remember my great-great-grandparents speaking some German. But when they were around at public events, when they were at public functions, they were speaking English out here, and they were immersed in the American customs out there. This is the strength of the melting pot. Is there's got to be common bonds, and particularly as we think about Independence Day, one of those common bonds should be not just what languages we speak, but the common essence of believing in the U.S. Constitution and actually having elected officials that support it. So I hope people remember that, particularly today as we celebrate Constitution Day.